My girlfriend intentionally induced a miscarriage, shattered my trust. Now she's institutionalized and her mom is begging for us to get back together. So, I, 28M, have been dating my girlfriend 26F for 4 years now. She has told me she always wanted children. We just didn't actively try for one though. I never pressured her into having a baby. It was more so her idea. I make enough and we own a home, so having a baby is something we can do. And to clarify, I'm not mad at her for this. I'm extremely concerned and I feel like everything she has said about her wanting a baby was a lie. Abortion is also legal up to 21 weeks of pregnancy in our state. So, she told me she was pregnant. She was having symptoms and decided to take a test. She was happy about it and excited. I was happy as well and offered to make an appointment for her. We both went together and she was 6 weeks pregnant. We've been planning since then and she even told her friends and family about it. Well, she ended up having a miscarriage at around 9 weeks. It was sudden and she was upset and I comforted her about it. And it seemed very tough for her, so I did my best to try and make her feel better. Then I had to retrieve something from a drawer in our bedroom and I found some herbs covered under a bag. It was pennyroyal and mugwort. I was confused because I have heard of pennyroyal being used to cause self-abortions. I asked her about it and she immediately became defensive and told me she didn't know where it came from. I kept trying to ask her about it and she ended up telling me she used it to have a miscarriage. She was crying and I was just in shock. So I asked her why. I told her she didn't have to lie to me about it, and I'm just confused because she was the one who really wanted a baby, and she didn't give me an answer about it. And I told her that we need to go to the hospital to make sure she isn't hurt, since pennyroyal is toxic, but she kept declining. It's been a few days now and she seems fine. I've been trying to ask her about this, but she just says she doesn't want to talk about it. Apparently, she was telling her friends and family she had a miscarriage and has been accepting condolences. She's avoiding this, but I don't want to push it towards her anymore. I'm not too sure what to do about this because I'm worried she might be having some type of mental breakdown or something. So I eventually told her that she should not tell me about having a baby again, and I can't trust her about it anymore. She was upset hearing that, but what else could I say about something like this? And this part might make me a huge a-hole, but in the back of my mind, I've been thinking, did she do this for attention from her friends and family? I don't know what to do, and I feel like a horrible person for even thinking this stuff. Edit. I'm thankful for all the info on the herbs and all of the advice. I can't comment for a few hours because I'm not going to be on Reddit, but I am going to talk to her tonight. And tomorrow, or whenever everything is calmed down, I will make an update. Then, in the comments section, one user said, "Not the a-hole. Speaking as a professional herbalist, pennyroyal in particular can indeed cause damage to the liver or kidneys, depending on the quantity and potency of how much she consumed. As for mugwort, it is less toxic, but has been known to cause miscarriages as it affects hormone levels significantly. I highly suggest getting a checkup and mentioning ingesting those herbs and how much. That said, this is a relationship-ending decision. While your partner has every right to decide to terminate an unwanted pregnancy, she lied to you, concealed her decision to use a DIY and dangerous abortifacient, and then accepted condolences for her miscarriage that she probably caused. This indicates a level of mental health problems that is not safe for any future family plans, let alone the loss of trust for having deceived you to such a degree over such an important life-changing event. OP, she needs therapy, and you need to leave this relationship or choose to never have children. If she decided at a later time in the pregnancy to take herbs like this, there's a serious risk to both her and a possible child. Just because something is natural doesn't make it safe. Hemlock is natural, cyanide is natural. I can name 20 plants that could kill you or make you wish it had. That's why you need to talk to a qualified herbalist before making up a potion. But seriously, OP, you need to leave this relationship. It's not safe, and she can't be trusted." Thank you very much for your comment. She won't even tell me how much pennyroyal she took, but she did tell me she drank around 8 strong cups of mugwort. I'm guessing she's worried I would call an ambulance on her or force her to go to the hospital if she told me how much pennyroyal she's taken. I don't see fully how much pennyroyal is left since I didn't get a close look, but I'm going to have to recheck the drawer. But I really don't know why she won't tell me. You're right though. I think I need to end this relationship, but it might be a mess. I'm going to talk to her tonight whenever I'm not busy. Then some users commented and told OP that his girlfriend needs to go to therapy and her behavior is concerning, and then OP said, "You're right. She needs therapy bad after this, but since I can't even have her go to the hospital, I'm not sure how I can even convince her to see a therapist. I'm going to talk to her tonight, and I'm taking some of these comments and advice to see what I can do about this. And then finally, user 2 commented and said, I can see 2 possible reasons why she would do this and act this way after 1, she realized after getting pregnant that she isn't ready to be a mother, which is the most probable one, or 2, the baby wasn't yours, which is much lower on the probability scale. Wow, I didn't even think about the second choice. For the top choice, I also get it, but I'm shocked she wouldn't get a medical abortion instead. She's going to have to deal with the negative side effects of the herbs that she's taken. And she knows that I'm pro-choice because I'm vocal about it, so I'm shocked she didn't come to see me if I'd either come with her or she would go herself. We even have a Planned Parenthood near us. Update, next day. Firstly, for some context, we have a Planned Parenthood that specializes in abortions, like 5 minutes away from us. I understand people thinking she didn't want to get an abortion because of protesters. I completely understand. But I drive by that specific place every single day for work. I have seen no protesters. It's usually empty besides a few cars on the side of the road, but I still understand why she wouldn't want a medical abortion from reading the comments. Then I asked her why. What was her goal here? She was trying really hard to avoid the conversation and left the room. But, and I apologize if this makes me an a-hole, but I told her if we can't have a conversation about this, I have to end the relationship. Then she came back in and said the reason why she did this was because she never felt like her family gave her enough attention in life and didn't feel supported by them, so she wanted to tell them she had a miscarriage so they can feel bad for her. I was confused because she could have just gotten a medical abortion and lied about it, instead of just harming her body with a toxic herb, and then I asked her about that, and she told me she wanted to have the experience of having an actual miscarriage. I was so confused and in shock, so I didn't say much because all of this just sounded so crazy to me. She told me she didn't want me mad at her, and she doesn't want to break up, and she was literally begging with me not to break up with her. So then I asked her, is there any chance the baby wouldn't have been mine? She said no. So I told her she needs to get therapy ASAP. I thankfully make enough to afford therapy, and I told her I will pay for it if she just goes please. She agreed. And I also told her she needs to go to the hospital, and I was telling her all of your comments about the septic that can happen and liver and kidney damage, and that kind of scared her into going to the hospital to get checked out. So we did go, and thankfully she is okay. Apparently she drank around 1 cup of it a day for a few days. And I found out she was also taking some other things, high doses of vitamin C, turmeric, parsley. That's pretty much it for now, but I'm not too sure about where to go from here. I do love her, and I do want to be with her, but all of this is so out of the blue. But thank you everyone for the comments on the last post. If anything else happens, I will make another update. Then in the comments section again, one user said, she sounds like she has some serious mental health issues, OP, like others have said. If you choose to stay with her, I would be cautious moving forward having kids with her. She's willing to cause self-harm for the sake of attention. There is no telling what she would do if you guys already have had the child. I've seen mothers fake their child's illness for attention before. And she comes off as deeply troubled and manipulative. I don't think she wants to hurt anyone out of malice, but it's still very concerning. If you stay, therapy is a must. Yes, thank you for your comment. The idea of having a baby is well off the table now. I'm not too sure where I'm going to go with this, but I'm heavily thinking about leaving the relationship after reading the comments. I'm just worried about her possibly harming herself if I do break up with her. Final update, 2 days later. Well, a lot has happened from my last post, and now everything is calmer now. I'm hoping this will be my last update, and apologies since this is going to be long. In my last post, I told her she needed to go to therapy ASAP. I told her I will pay and everything, and I just hoped for the love of effing God for her to just please go to therapy. That was the only thing I wanted. Well, I haven't set up anything yet because she told me she doesn't want to go to therapy now. She told me she will never do what she did again and doesn't believe she needs therapy. I was going back and forth with her on this, but she was very insistent on not wanting any therapy. And then I told her I can't move on in this relationship if she doesn't do it. She was arguing with me about it and told me if I loved her, I will stay in this relationship regardless, and it wasn't even that big of a deal, she said. I was pretty pissed hearing that because not only did she purposefully miscarry the baby we planned for, she harmed herself for no reason, in her words, to experience an actual miscarriage, and I can't even trust her anymore. I was thinking about telling her parents at this point, and I accidentally brought it up out of worry for her mental health and me being pissed off, and she begged me, got on the ground, begged me not to tell her parents. So I took her word because I didn't want her to lose her mind even more over this. And I told her I absolutely have to leave this relationship. I told her it isn't my responsibility anymore because this has honestly been making me lose my mind too. I was holding it back, but I really can't take it anymore. Also, yesterday before this fight, she publicly stated on Facebook that she had a miscarriage and was torn up about it, accepting condolences again in the comments. And I brought that up to her, and she told me the same thing in my last post. She was pretty much just wanting to feel important to friends and family. She was so nonchalant about it, and honestly, it seemed like she thought I'd think I wouldn't care. I told her to stop posting about it and to stop telling people. And then, back to when we were having the fight, I told her seriously I can't be with her anymore. I will allow you to stay here or you can go back to your parents. She was laying on the ground crying at this point, and I had my phone ready because my gut feeling was telling me that she might do something to herself. She would come out of the room she was packing in and then come close to me and hug me out of nowhere. She said that if I'm breaking up with her, she wants a last final hug. The wildest thing is that she came out of the room with one of my shirts on, a shirt she was not wearing before, took it off right in front of me, and then tells me, "Here's your shirt back." I don't know what she was trying to do, but finally, she ended up leaving and went to her parents' place. Right before she left, she was crying, and I think it started to hit her that I was actually being serious. She was messaging me and calling me constantly, ranging from her just fixing this together, saying she wants therapy now, and her saying she will never do what she did again. And I have been ignoring all of it. I realize this is not my responsibility now, and her parents can take care of it. Like what my worry has been, apparently, she did try to harm herself. Her mom messaged me about it, and she said that her daughter is at the hospital, and I'm assuming now on hold because she tried to unalive herself. But she is physically fine, and this is the last of it, and I'm thinking that this will be my last update. I'm not going back to her, and I'm going to try and stop thinking about all of this, and get a good lock for my door. Thanks for all the advice on the last post. Edit. I am telling her parents now. If anything happens, I will just update it here. Edit number 2. I ended up telling her parents. I had messages relating to this between me and her, took photos of the herbs that she used, told them everything. Thankfully, they didn't accuse me or do anything drastic and thanked me for telling them. They said they will tell the hospital what I told them. Not too sure what's going on at the moment or what's going to happen after, since she's being held right now. But I will update this if anything else happens. Now here are some more relevant comments. User 1 said, "OP, I'm glad you pulled yourself out of the relationship because she is not healthy mentally. I do suggest talking to her parents to make sure they get her some real help. Her actions were really messed up." Yeah, I'm thinking about telling her parents very soon. I didn't before because I didn't know if it would have been a good idea since they're the pro-life type. I understand she's not my responsibility anymore, but I don't want someone that is going through a mental break to go through even more. And then finally, user 2 commented and said, "OP, you're not the a-hole. It sounds like you've been carrying the weight of a situation far beyond what most people could handle, and you did your best to set healthy boundaries while ensuring her safety by informing her parents. Her refusal to seek therapy, manipulative behavior, and the way she handled the miscarriage, both physically and emotionally, shows serious red flags, and you're right to step away from it. Her mental health is not your responsibility, especially when she refuses help. You've done the right thing by involving her parents, and now you need to focus on your own well-being. Stay firm in your decision, and don't let guilt pull you back into a situation that's unhealthy for the both of you." New update. Well, it's been over a month since this happened, and things thankfully haven't been crazy. I was in shock pretty bad during this, and it started to hit me, so I've been seeing a therapist myself about it. As for my ex, her mom has been updating me on her, mostly because how concerned I was for her. I was honestly thinking about blocking her entire family because I wanted to separate myself totally from all of this and never think about her again, but I decided to keep her mom on my phone for updates at the time. As for her, she was in a psych ward for 2 weeks, and while I haven't been told a specific diagnosis, she was apparently in psychosis. Her mom has told me she is taking medication and is doing better. But the effed up thing is that her mom has been recently trying to get me back together with her, saying her daughter will be a lot happier if I go back to her. And then I straight up blocked her. I do not want to experience that ever again, even if she is getting counseling and is on medication. F no. I don't know why her mom is doing that. Maybe my ex is giving her a hard time over this, I don't know. But other than that, it's been calm, and I've come to the realization that I'm a lot happier without her in my life, and I want it to stay that way. I'm going to stay single for the time being, and just stick with myself. Thanks for all of the advice on my other posts. And then finally, in the comments section, one user said, "Good on you, OP. Glad everything is settled down for you, and keep doing the best for yourself. Even if you did get back with your ex, it wouldn't have been in either of your best interests as both of you are struggling mentally, and she killed your future with her by forcing a miscarriage. Good luck, OP, and maybe look into adoption if you're still wanting a child. There's a lot of kids needing parents out there. Best of luck to you. Then user 2 commented and said, the mother's priority is her daughter. She knows that if you forgive her, your ex won't have to spend a lot of time processing the true depths of what she did, because she won't have as many consequences to deal with, which could be to stabilize her faster. It would also lessen the burden that the mother has to deal with if you step back in to help care for her. And neither of those reasons are fair to you, but they are understandable. Blocking her is the right choice. She doesn't have your best interests in mind, only hers and her daughter's. You can hope that your ex is well, but it's not your responsibility to ensure it at all. Good luck moving on from this mess. And then finally, user 3 commented and said, man, I'm real proud of you. You handled an awful, terrible, unspeakable betrayal so well. Please take care of yourself, OP. Reach out to friends and family, and don't be alone too much. Eat good. Go to the gym. Take care. So, as for my narrator's personal opinion on the matter, oh my god, she took medicine or herbs that I've never heard of in my life before to induce a miscarriage for attention! That is a plotline from a drama, and me personally, as a voice acting and screenwriter, I want to remember this for a plotline maybe down in the future, because this is so ridiculous. It seems she's better now that she's on medication and seems to be stabilized, but now that she's stable, hopefully she can make the right decision and go to therapy. She induced a miscarriage on herself. What? Like, I can't wrap my head around that. Oh my god. But you know what? Again, as everybody was saying, OP's not the a-hole. It's not his responsibility. He handled way more than a lot of other people probably would. And now it's up to her to resolve her problems. It's up to the family to help her out. But now OP can do whatever it is he wants, like going to Qdoba or playing League of Legends. I hope he doesn't play League, though. That would be awful. But anyway, guys, we're at the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching, commenting. Have a really good day, and bye-bye!